Hi there, welcome to Moving Forward with Gayle Suzanne. This is part 2 of our talk about divorce. And part 2 is going to be about getting out there and starting to date after a divorce. For some of us, it's easy. We might find somebody on the first date, firstmatch.com date. For others, it's a struggle. It is a struggle. I had a struggle. I went on 50 million blind dates, 50 million first dates, met some very, very, very nice people, but it was challenging. There's no doubt. It was nerve-wracking. It was just uncomfortable, but I put myself out there. So today I would like to just go over some things. I guess we'll call them Gayle's philosophy of dating. This is by no means etched in stone. It's just my opinion. But these are things that helped me through the whole period of dating while divorced with a young child. And it just helped me. So I just want to share these little things with you. First off, when you begin to date, I think it's important to be yourself. How many people I have known or I've seen that they pretend that they're someone they're not when they go on a date. You know, you eat like a piece of lettuce and, you know, a carrot. And when you're absolutely starving to death, and then that's not going to be me. I'm going to be who I am on the date. Because, you know, eating a carrot and a piece of lettuce is not who I am. And I did so much work on myself when I was single, not dating, that I wanted to be who I was. I didn't want to have any false advertising, anything I'm better than I claim, or this is what I do, and in front of you, but I'm going to do something different, not in front of you. And I'm not saying don't put your best foot forward. I'm not saying lather food all over your face or whatever. I'm just saying just to be yourself. It's very, very important. I think one of the key things I learned from someone about dating was that I wasn't the one on the interview. I was interviewing them. And that changed my whole outlook. Because I always thought, well, if somebody liked me, then I'm going to like them back, and then it's all going to be great, but they have to like me first. And if they like me, I have to like them back. And it's like, no, I'm a grown woman, and when I go out, it's me. Does he meet the criteria that I have? So one of the things, what is the criteria that I had? I need to write a list for myself to know what are the deal breakers. So if this guy is, you know, never moved out from his mother and he can't go out on his own without his mother being on the date with us, that's kind of a no for me, a kind of a deal breaker. If they're heavily involved in drugs, if they have a violent temper, things like that, for me, those are a no-go. I don't care how handsome he is. I don't care how nice he is. If those things are there, they're triggers for me, and they're things that I'm not willing to have in my life, especially with my daughter. So on my list, I would have the absolute no. These are no's. And for me, if someone was married, and if someone was not nice to their children or didn't talk to their children, to me that would be a no. That would be a no. I know some people will say, well, you don't have no idea how bad my spouse is or how terrible my spouse is, and, you know, let's just go out. And for me, I would not date a married person. It just causes too much confusion. And what happens if the guy goes back to his wife? Or for me, that was a no. Some of the things that I wanted someone who was gentle, who was kind, who was solid, who was funny, who made me laugh, who understood me and it let me be me. Because for me personally, if someone put me in a box and told me, Gayle, you have to stay home and, you know, cook every night and clean, that's not me. So I wanted someone who would let me be me and not control me. And they probably wanted the same thing in their partner. But I think these things are very, very important, to know who you are and to say, these are the things that really won't go with my personality. If I had somebody who was controlling and saying, Gayle, you need to be home at 6 o'clock every single night, that just would not work for me. It just wouldn't. Because I like to do what I like to do, but I want somebody to accept me for who I am. Also things like, I'm trying to think, kind, gentle, solid, good with money. You know, I have to be attracted to them. Doesn't mean that they have to be drop dead gorgeous. To me, I like boy men, obviously, which is crazy, which my husband is exact kind of man that I like, you know, just like the boyish face, and he's a man, but he's got a young looking face. You know, everybody's got their thing. Some people, oh, I have to have someone bald, I have to have somebody who's really in good shape. Those things are not on my list. So everybody's list is different. And then the nice to haves. Well, you know, if he was loaded, he had a lot of money and he was nice and all that, that's great. If he had kids my age, that would be great. So it's important, I think, to make the list. Just not so that you're getting exactly like I want 7,500 hairs on his head, but just a general list so you know as you're going on, not when you're going on these first dates, is this person, you know, kind of fall into my wheelhouse? Is this am I attracted to this person? Are we compatible? I think that's the biggest thing, the compatibility part. I went on so many blind dates, it wasn't even funny. And some of them were really good, nice, and, you know, maybe no attraction on either way, but nice people, and some were horrific. And the longer I went out on these dates, I learned a lot about myself. One of them, I met someone, and he was probably an hour away from me, and we had a great time. We had a great night. We were laughing and, you know, good eye contact, good conversation. We just had a great time. The end of the date, he's like, oh my God, I'd love to see you again. Can I have your number? And I said, sure. Gave him my number, was not coerced by me. I didn't say, do you want to go out again or anything? I just let him be the lead. And I was excited because he was nice and we just got along great. And by the time I got home, I wanted to send him a little email thanking him for the dinner or the appetizers and drinks that we had. And I said, thank you, you know, it was a really nice night, I appreciate it. And he wrote back and he said, I'm not interested. And I looked at it, I'm like, you're not interested? I'm like, just an hour ago, you were asking for my number, you were flirting with me, you were giggling, you said you want to go out again. And it crushed me at first. I'm like, I don't understand this, why? And then I realized that had nothing to do with me. Maybe he wanted to find an easy way out of the conversation, although it seemed like we were okay. But I was not going to, well, first of all, when I got I'm not interested in you, it was kind of like, what? And then there I go. What's wrong with me? You know, should I have said something different? Should I have worn something sexier? Should I have slept with him in the parking lot? Like all these things crossed my mind. And then after a little bit of rejection and hurt and feeling really crappy, I was like, no, I have spent so much time on myself that I'm not going to let this guy that I met for an hour knock my self-esteem down. I'm just not going to do it. You know, he was the one that said he wanted to see me again. He was the one that said he was interested and he wanted to go out again. So that's on him, not on me. So I had to really think about that and say, okay, people are going to say things that they want to say or that they're more comfortable saying. And for whatever reason, he said that. He could have just left and I would have been fine with it. Another thing I learned was that I can be okay on a blind date. I can carry a conversation, I can go out, I can have a good time. Doesn't mean I have to marry the guy, doesn't mean I have to see him again. Just means I can hold my own with a stranger and have a nice conversation and have a good time. So that date taught me so much about going out. And I also thought, well, what did he do for me? Because I know I put on the charm and I made him laugh and blah, 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 blah. But I'm thinking, did he really do it all for me? And I'm like, wow, I got to turn this stuff around. And rather than going out on a date saying, is he going to like me? I have to turn it around and get the control myself and say, is he fitting my list? Is he giving me what I need? Some of the other things I learned about dating is if you start comparing yourself to other women, if you're a woman, if you start comparing yourself to other women, you're going down a rabbit hole. Just don't do it. everybody's different. Everybody's going to be different than we are. Some are going to be thinner, some are going to be prettier, some are going to be smarter, some are going to be, more confident, sexier, whatever they are. I learned early on, I cannot compare myself to someone else and feel bad about myself. You know, I may be looking at one of my friends who is tall and thin and beautiful and got it all going, yet she's shy as anything. And she might be looking at me saying, wow, Gayle's got personality, she can talk to anybody. You know, if we compare ourselves, there's always something that somebody else is going to have that's better than what we have. And we're not going to look at our qualities in quite the same esteem as we look at other people's qualities, the qualities that we don't have. So my big thing was, okay, I have to concentrate on my talents, on my qualities, on my goodness, on what I bring to the table. If somebody wants a size 2, beautiful model type girlfriend, it's not me. And I know that. And I'm quite okay with that. It's just, I guess, accepting those things. But if somebody wants somebody who's going to treat them well and have fun and be a patient and a loving and loyal partner, that's me. So there are things that I really had to realize that I can't compare myself, because I will never be a size 2. I will never be happy not having chocolate cake for dinner. I will never, ever be happy with that. Just have to learn to be confident and self-assured in who I am. And that goes back to what we were talking about before, is what we say to ourselves and how we talk to ourselves. And not to say and to disregard everything that we need to work on ourselves. I need to be healthy. I need to eat all my foods from the food pyramid. I have to be healthy. But on the other hand, if somebody wants somebody who is, you know, a stick figure, that's not me. And I am going to get rejected, and I just have to learn to just, okay, that one's not for me. It's not a match. It's not a match was another thing that really helped me in the dating world. When I'm on my 40th blind date, and it was like, oh, I can't believe another date didn't work out. When I tell myself it just wasn't a match, that to me was the easiest way to move on. Instead of like, oh, I was rejected, or oh, I had to reject him, because it was kind of a 50-50 thing, you know, whether I was rejected or whether I wasn't attracted to them. And the men that I didn't like or wasn't attracted to didn't mean that there was something wrong with them. It didn't mean that they were not a nice person or not attractive or not worthwhile. It just was me not attracted to that type of person. We just didn't click. There was nothing wrong with them, and I didn't want them to believe that something was wrong with them. It was just my match was not made that night, a match for me, who I felt comfortable with. So it's not a match. My goodness, that saved me so much anguish. You know, when I went out, well, I was just not a match for him. I went out with him, it's just not a match. They may have been great people, they may have been the nicest people, they may have been perfect for one of my friends, but just not for me. Because it goes back to that list. What do we want in someone? What do we want? And it all goes back to that. So some of the other things, if someone tells you right off the bat that they don't want a commitment or they don't want to be in a relationship, believe them. Don't be the person that says, well, I think I'm going to change them. They tell me they don't want a commitment. They tell me they want to date 5 other people at the same time as me. They tell me that they don't want anything serious. They just want to have fun. Believe it. Unless they show you otherwise and get rid of all the other people that they're dating and say, I'm ready for a commitment, then believe it. But if somebody says, I want to play the field, and when my next person's coming home, I want you to go out the back with a hoodie and go down the fire escape and climb out the bathroom window, you know, that you deserve more than that. You deserve more than that. Unless that's your call and you're okay with it and you're calling a shot saying, I don't care, I want to have fun too, I don't want a commitment. But if somebody tells you, I don't want a relationship, then believe them. And you'll save yourself a lot of heartache. And if you want a relationship really badly, you want to get married, you want to have children, and someone tells you that, You're gifting yourself by saying, no, I really can't do that. I'm moving on. And you're saving yourself a whole lot of anguish. A couple of other things about dating I have to think. If you're constantly questioning yourself in a relationship, let's say you're dating somebody for a while, and you're like, oh my God, does he like me? Is he mad at me? Oh, I don't know. Or there's no communication. And this goes on for months and months and months that you're questioning yourself. You're questioning how he feels about you. You're questioning how he, his reaction to things, if he's mad at you, if he's okay with you, all these things. If you are questioning yourself all the time when you're with this person, part of me will say it's time to move on, because I believe that a relationship that is true and it's genuine and it is right will be easy. The other person will tell you how they feel, that you will know where you stand at all times. I really, really believe that. I had questioned myself in relationships, questioned myself to the point where I was going insane. Did I do something wrong because it was hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold? I'm like, did I cause the hot and cold? What did I do? I better walk on eggshells. And I'm like, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. I just want to be myself. And you know what? If something is wrong and something is upsetting the other person, they should be able to tell me. When I first started dating my husband, my husband, everything went smoothly. Everything went so smoothly. It was kind of like, I'll call you Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I knew exactly where I stood. I knew when he wanted to get serious, when he didn't want to get serious, when we're getting married, and he followed through with things that he said he was going to do. And to me, the right relationship just works very easily. It's very easy peasy. Whereas when I was in another relationship, the tension was just so high. I just always felt that I did something wrong. And I don't believe that is for me, was not the right type of relationship. I needed to leave that relationship. So that's kind of an important thing. It should be easy. Choose differently. Choose differently is a big one. And I strongly stand by this. If you are dating a certain type of person that you have your whole life, I like the surfer guy who is kind of aloof, and the California dude who, gives me the time of day once in a while, but not really. If you're used to dating that kind of person, and you've dated, let's say, 5 of those type of people, same kind of guy, because you find them attractive, you find them cute, and they keep on hurting you, I encourage you to choose differently. To look at what your list is, and if your list says, I can only date men that are 6'4" and taller. I can only date men that have 6-pack abs. I can only date men that have a doctorate. I can only date men that, when you have these specific, strict lists or guidelines for your dating, when it really has nothing to do with the actual person inside, sometimes it will get you in trouble if you do it over and over and over and over, the same type of person. Oh, I like the guys that, just don't give me the time of day, and I like the challenge, and I want to run after them. And then you enter into a relationship, you're in a relationship, and they're still not giving you the time of day. They're always out with their friends, or they're always, going out till all hours of the night and doing whatever, and not spending enough time with you. If you like that kind of person, then the same thing is going to happen over and over again when you choose the same type of person. If you want something different for your life, if you want something that is more whole for you, more just healthier, then choose differently. Do they have to be a surfer dude? Do they have to have 8 million friends that they go out with every night? Do they have to have a gambling problem? Whatever it is, it's kind of like reassess your list. And it's like, wow, well, how important is that 6-pack ab? If you pinch an inch, is that going to be a deal breaker? If he's 5'10" instead of 6'2", will that really make a big difference if he's going to treat you like gold and treat you like you want to be treated? I know a lot of times we say, oh, I'm attracted to that kind of person, I'm attracted to this kind of person, and I get it. But sometimes the things that we're attracted to might be more on a physical note rather than what their personality is in their heart. So just kind of think about it a little bit. You know, if you're going around that circle, around that mountain 15 times and you still end up at the same result, try shaking it up a bit. Try giving that nice guy a chance. You know, he may not be gorgeous, he may not be, 6 foot tall, but wow, he's got a heart of gold and he's a good guy and he'll make you a really happy partner. So just kind of open up your mind a little bit. I know it helped me. And this is all I'm trying to convey here is what helped me and what helped me get through and find my husband, who I've been with for 16 years now, very happily. All right, what else? Believe good things will come. And I know this is hard for a lot of people. They're like, I got divorced. I can't get over the person. He's the one that I wanted. But good things will come. I really believe that things happen for a reason and people come in and out of our lives for a reason, for a season, whatever it is. Sometimes you're going to have single people that come into your life just to give you a friend, another friend that's single, and that's awesome. Sometimes people are going to come into your life, men will come into your life if you're a woman, and they'll be a good friend to you, and they'll be your plus one when you go to your cousin's wedding or when you have a barbecue to go to. Maybe not a romantic thing, but just someone that's there that will encourage you and you both are helping each other. Just believe that something good will happen because it will happen. I believe when you're open that things will be in the works. And sometimes if you're with someone now who you're not really happy about, you're just kind of like, I'm settling. Sometimes I believe doors will open when you let go of what's not serving you and you leave space for something that will serve you. So sometimes if we know that person we're in a relationship with now, just say it's a casual relationship, but you know that it's not going anywhere, but you really want that person who means something to you, you want that special relationship with someone else, sometimes you have to let go of what is not serving you or what's not the best for you in order to allow space for the one to come to you. I believe that. Sometimes we want to hold on to this and see what's coming here and then pick between the two. And sometimes we just have to let it go and then open ourselves up to receive what's out there for us. And I'm going to leave you with another thought. If you've been single for a while and you really want to enhance your life, I would strongly encourage you to do any type of activity that you possibly can that feeds your soul. Anything that gives you a passion, that makes you feel good about yourself. Go take a class, learn how to change the oil in your car, go belly dancing, learn how to make meatballs, go for a walk, join a club. So many things are out there in the world, and sometimes we feel like when we don't have a partner, that's the end of things, and I'm so miserable. But there's a whole world out there. There's so much to do. And I encourage you to just step out and try something. Try something that you've been wanting to do for a long time and you just haven't had the time or the energy to do it. Now you have the time, now you have the energy, just do it, just try. And then suddenly that man is going to appear or that woman's going to appear and just rock your world. But in the meantime, you will be doing things to enhance your life, to increase your confidence, to make you more self-assured, make you more confident. And when the guy calls and you're not around because you're going to your pottery class, I think that makes you all the more interesting rather than sitting on the phone waiting for the phone to ring. You're developing your own life and you're making your life thrive. So that is Gayle's dating philosophies. I hope you came away with something. Again, it was just my opinion, but I hope it helps you. And we'll see you next time. This is Gayle. Moving forward with Gayle Suzanne, contact me at Gayle@GayleSuzanne. Thank you. Bye-bye.